Yeah, we are live now. We can start.
Namaskar.
Mitali, tell me when to start.
Yeah, so I'll start.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on this outreach event for the FICCI Sanitation Awards 2022. I would request everyone to go on mute, please. And we will be taking queries towards the end of the session. So please wait till then to ask your queries. Without taking much time, let me invite Ms. Naina Lal Kidwai, Chair India Sanitation Coalition, to welcome the guests and introduce the FICCI Sanitation Awards 2022 at this outreach event, the main purpose of which is to inform the sector about these awards, to solicit nominations from those who deserve it the most. Over to you, Naina ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mitali, and good afternoon to everyone who's with us today. I'm absolutely delighted to be able to share with you what we have for your consumption today, and that is the ISC FICCI Sanitation Awards. Now, many of you have participated in these awards before. Some of you are awardees, and many will become awardees, I hope, and in fact would encourage you to consider going forward. We set up these awards with a view to showcasing what is best in India. It is our firm belief that there are excellent examples of what is working in the country, but not enough replication of what is indeed working. And for many of our awardees, we have, in fact, had the advantage of being able to share what they have done, their journeys, and to look at the way they themselves might benefit from the award, but even more important, to enable and encourage others to replicate the success of what they have achieved. Now, I take great pleasure in also sharing with you that as we review the awardees of the past and their journeys, there are many who have benefited from being part of the process that we have set up in terms of the awards. We look at that progress. In some cases, it has helped them access funds easier. It's helped them showcase what they do. There is a little stamp of credibility. And indeed, that stamp of credibility comes not just from the fact that we are the India Sanitation Coalition and FICCI giving the award, but from the jury which we assemble every year. We are very fortunate to have a jury which has been chaired very ably by no less than Dr. Mashelkar, who understands everything there is to understand about entrepreneurship and innovation, and whose heart is absolutely in the right place when it comes to our areas of sanitation as we go forward as well. And our jury assembled with great care, people who give their time and have indeed the expertise in the space to guide us on picking the right winners, but also, I hope, enabling our awardees to have that discussion as they showcase what they're doing with the jury and understand the nature of questions on their minds, which helps them not only refine their answers for the event, but also to look at their own future strategy. So the importance of the award is to showcase, to benchmark success, but also for our awardees to benefit from having received the award. We have continued on our journey of expanding the number of awards that we give across sectors, and you will hear much more in detail from India Sanitation Coalition CEO Natasha later on in this deliberation going forward today. But now let it suffice to say that we have expanded the definition of sanitation, where we have traditionally remained in the area of sewage treatment, toilets, the whole agenda of build, use, maintain, treat in the sanitation space, largely dealing with toilets to treatment in sewage, to a wider agenda, which we are embracing on including the whole journey of plastics and dealing with solid waste. It's a new journey for us, but in the process, we will be, of course, looking to give awards and pick the winners in this space. We are extremely excited by this, which will, of course, lead to our jury itself being widened to bring in more experts in some of these spaces to guide us on how the awards are to be crafted, but equally to pick the right people, the right organizations who we would then give these awards to. I would encourage you to continue to contribute to our website, where we showcase examples, not just of winners, but of benchmarks of best practice, to continue to access the website, not just for the forms and the process we will set out for you for participating in the awards, but for the knowledge bank that has been carefully crafted and put up in our various parts of the website by our extremely dedicated team, some of whom are here today with us, and in particular, Sanjeev Jha, who leads the Knowledge Initiative and has assembled a lot of the literature which we share with you on the website in terms of what sanitation is about, what this journey means for the country. But in each of these, it's peppered with examples of cases that are working, successful municipalities, successful companies, successful entrepreneurs. So do look for this as you go forward. We also have separately a set of awards we are instituting as the Rasheed Kidwai Innovation Awards, which is for newer entrepreneurs starting up. And you will hear more about this in a separate forum, but this is just to alert you that we really regard these awards as a very critical part of the journey of success for the country, for us, and for ensuring that we can continue to replicate the success stories that we are able to put out before you. So on that note, let me hand back to you, Mitali. I do want to introduce, and I don't need to introduce Dr. Mashelkar. He is, of course, with us, and you all know him. But one of the individuals who we are very happy to have with us today, which is Mr. Mati, again, who has been with us before, but Mr. Mati Vatanan is, in fact, one of the people who I think deserves special mention, and you will hear from him today. He is an IS officer of the 1994 batch of Orissa cadre and is currently Principal Secretary, Department of Housing, Urban Development in the government of Orissa. His works on achieving pipe water supply to households and drink from tap mission and decentralized solid waste management systems, non-sewage sanitation solutions with community partnerships have become pioneering models and trend-setting initiatives in urban governance. So we're delighted to have you with us, Matisa, for all that you achieve and the guidance that you provide us as we go along. And for many others who remain part of this journey for us, Mr. Chari, who has led from the front in his sector. Well, I'm going to get lost mentioning everyone here, and it will take a lot of time. But for everyone who is with us today, thank you for the journey that you have helped us achieve as a jury, and indeed for what you do on the ground. So with that, Mitali, to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Awards indeed are an excellent motivator as they boost the stakeholders' confidence, stimulate the morale of employees, unlock networking opportunities, and raise brand image. ISC FICCI Sanitation Awards have been blessed with an outstanding jury who have always insisted on rewarding the best. We are proud that Padma Vibhushan Dr. R.A. Mashelkar has chaired the awards jury since the inception of these awards in 2017. In our next session that will be led by Dr. Mashelkar himself, some of our eminent jury members would share their reflections on the awards. We have with us Mr. Asad Umar, Senior Program Officer, Health and Wash at Aga Khan Foundation, Professor Srinivas Chari, Director, Center for Energy, Environment, Urban Governance and Infra Development at Administrative Staff College of India, Mr. Deepak Arora, Vice President, Public Affairs, Naira Energy, Ms. Kaveri Bamzai, independent journalist with more than 30 years at India Today, the Indian Express and the Times of India, and Ms. Meena Narula, ex-country director and managing trustee, Water for People. These are some of the members who have confirmed, while there are also likely to be other jury members who may have joined the event. So with your permission, Dr. Mashelkar sir, I would also like to invite them to join the discussion. Over to you, Dr. Mashelkar.
You're on mute.
So you're on mute.
Yeah, you asked me to go on the mute and I forgot to unmute. Thank you. Naina, the pioneering spirit behind the Sanitation Coalition and these fantastic awards. Sri Mathi Saab, Principal Secretary, Housing and Urban Development Department, Government of Odisha. Some of the distinguished awardees who are going to participate today, distinguished fellow jury members, distinguished members of the media, this is Natasha Patel's, Sanjeev Mithai, the wonderful ISC Secretariat, ladies and gentlemen. I must say it's a privilege and honor to participate in this wonderful outreach event. I want to extend belated greetings of our Republic Day, which we all celebrated with such gaiety, with such pride all over the nation. India Sanitation Coalition FICCI Awards was the brainchild of our visionary leader, Naina. And I want to begin by extending our own gratefulness to her, because without her, we would not be here today. They say purpose, perseverance, and passion matters. There has to be a big purpose. There has to be a big North Star. And that big purpose, like we had white revolution, we had green revolution, like we had blue revolution, is the clean revolution that India needs, basically. And under that, setting up these awards, which I assume such a prestige today, this was a very powerful instrument. And as Naina beautifully explained, how we showcase the best, set benchmarks, bring credibility. And this is really helping the national movement that began with the grand vision of our visionary Prime Minister Swachh Bharat mission. I must say, on a personal note, that I was very fortunate to be the chairman of the standing committee for selecting the technologies for drinking water and sanitation. And then, of course, the chairman of the jury for our ISC FICCI awards. Our greatest concern has been, as Naina rightly said, replication. But replication with speed, replication with scale, and sustainability. And towards that, we have, over a period of time, created this assured framework, affordable, scalable, sustainable, user-friendly, rapid, excellence in terms of standards, and distinctive, not me too. And I'm very happy that if you go on Ministry's website, you'll have to fill up the assured framework parameters by which it is, just because it brings in complete transparency. And I'm very proud that in a two-stage process, this becomes an important sort of filter. There is a rigor, there is a transparency. Over a period of time, I'm proud to say that our awards have gone for expansion, inclusion, excellence, expansion in terms of the scope of the award, because there are multiple dimensions. Like last year, we created these Women Changemakers Awards. And then to pay our respects to the great visionary Rashid Kidwai, we have created these Rashid Kidwai Innovation Awards, which will look at in this particular situation. I'm also very happy to see, as a scientist, that I always say science must solve, technology must transform, and innovation must impact. And these awards are exemplars as far as these three factors are concerned. Particularly happy to see the young. They are not interested in just doing good to their bank account, but doing good for the society. And more of them are coming, and some of them you will just now hear. Our outreach program, with the 6th edition, we are truly trying to reach out now to our unsung heroes who work hard in silence, and they say, let success make all the noise. Karmanne vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, as we say. But we want to sing a song for these unsung heroes, and Natasha will tell you more about it. And my final words are for my profound thanks to our fantastic jury members, each of them with huge commitment, huge passion, huge insights. I must say, I myself have learned so much from our great jury, because great jury is one who sees what everyone else sees, but thinks of what nobody else thinks. And our jury has been that, and I have learned so much from him. So thank you all for joining us on this grand movement. We are all together in this grand movement, and thank you, Naina, for being what you are and having done what you have done for all of us, for the society, and for the nation. Thank you.
Just thank you, Dr. Mashelkar, for your kind words and your guidance as ever. And of course, your commitment to be with us today, despite being struck with COVID, and you're holding up really well for us. So thank you.
I would now request Mr. Asad Umar to please share some of his reflections on the awards and the jury process. Asad sir?
You need to unmute.
He is there.
Is he around?
Yes, I can see him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks. Please.
So, thank you so much for this opportunity. I think this is the right move to organize this outreach event. For the past many years, we have seen ISC FICCI award that has evolved into an aspirational and popular event, and also gained the prominence and credibility within WASH sector. As Dr. Mashelkar has rightly pointed out, that the assured framework, that was something that has given jury members the opportunity to actually recognize, identify and recognize some of the best initiatives in the country, especially within sanitation domain, or the innovative approaches. And that has actually helped the award to establish itself at national level. So with the growth of WASH sector over the years, and with the launch of second phase of Swachh Bharat mission, I think this award have gained more significance. I'm sure the upcoming event, the award, would help to recognize some of the best efforts in promoting innovative and appropriate technologies, new business model, behavior change communication approaches with a potential for further replication to meet the demand for safely managed sanitation facilities. I think going forward, this is an award which will definitely inspire many more to actually apply and to ensure that the award, that their efforts gets recognition. I think it has been, for me, it has been an eventful journey, and I myself have learned quite a lot. Aga Khan Foundation, I represent Aga Khan Foundation, which actually implements directly on the grounds, and we have seen and we have learned quite a lot from some of the best examples. And I'm sure over the years, the kind of leadership that this award has achieved is really phenomenal. And I must take this opportunity to somewhere also recognize the effort and the way I'm truly impressed with the commitment and dedication of ISC team, especially the way Natasha ji and Sanjeev ji have worked to ensure the success of this award. And of course, the under overall leadership and guidance of Dr. Mashelkar and Nanaji. With these few words, I will just hand over to Mitali. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. I would now request Professor Srinivas Chari, Director, Center for Energy, Environment, Urban Governance and Infra Development at ISC, to please say a few words.
Thank you, Mitali. Dr. Mashelkar, Nanaji, Mathivathanan sir, Natasha ji, Sanjeev ji, thank you very much for this opportunity. My take on this is very simple. We just have about 8.5 years before we reach SDGs. We don't have a luxury of time. We just have about 8.5 years. We just have about 4.5 years for country to declare themselves as garbage free, as Honorable PM says, as used water management, no wastewater shall go to water bodies. Now these tasks, this vision cannot be achieved by governments alone. This particular mandate and vision can only be achieved, I strongly believe, by collaboration with innovators like Jalodburst, Rakesh ji is there, Pat Care, Iram Scientific, Gen Robotics, Saraplast. These are the people who will enable country to achieve this vision. Without them, I am convinced, as a researcher, as a semi-practitioner working with the cities across the country, it is impossible for country to accomplish the vision. These are the people who are going to help the country achieve it. Now, there are exceptions like Mathivathan sir, who as a champion, as a leader, is able to push the needle. But many states require this collaborative approach and this particular skill set, which often is missing in typical municipal service delivery. We need to understand that, and I strongly remind myself, the 74th constitutional amendment makes municipalities as a mandatory requirement to deliver service. There is no constitutional pressure on these innovators to deliver service. They're doing out of their passion. They're doing out of certain amount of interest and what they see. I think that is the difference. This is not a sort of a job. In fact, they struggle more than anyone else. And I know each one of them, it's not easy to work in a ground level situation, getting things happen. In fact, after maybe, I don't know anyone, only the recent, yesterday, one of our friends, collaborators, a champion, was given Padma Award for doing some good work in sanitation. Damodaran from Gramalaya. It's the first time that a person has been recognized with working in the area of toilets and sanitation. It doesn't happen often. It is generally the scientists or people in public policy. In fact, we all should be championing. I request Nainaji and Dr. Mashelkar, the next logical step is to take some of these awardees to a next level, which is what is the purpose of this platform. ISC is a good stepping stone for taking it to, I was very, very keen that Mati sir should be, open to be taken to as a Magsaysay awardee. But we need to come as a team together, and many of our friends in this sanitation space, in the water and sanitation space, should be taken to Padma awardees. And I'm happy that Damodaran could manage to, the government could recognize his work, excellent work in Tamil Nadu and various parts. Now, this is the, in fact, my view on this energy is that we are not recognizing them or not recognizing them as with an award. In fact, we are showcasing them so that more and more cities adapt them, invite them, request them to work. In fact, the game changing will be that how many cities and how many states invite them and change the procurement procedures, simplify the procurement procedures, and help them to establish these innovations on the ground for the benefit of people. And you're doing a great job by creating this platform. Through this platform, we learn, I learn a lot, and take some of these exemplary innovators to different parts of the country. And that's exactly the job of the, some of people like us associated with Dr. Mashelkar under his leadership and guidance. I think my request to everyone again, Nainaji, is this award is not an end in itself. It has to be taken to the next level so that there'll be a national recognition for some of our champions who are working phenomenal work on the ground. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for motivating us. I now invite Mr. Deepak Arora, Vice President, Public Affairs, Naira Energy Limited. Sir, please share your thoughts with us.
Good afternoon, Dr. Mashelkar. Good afternoon, Nana, and good afternoon, everybody else. Well, it's always a pleasure to come back to India Sanitation Coalition. It's not just that you contribute as a jury member, but I think you take back a lot of learnings for the things that you do in your own respective organizations. And I think that's the beauty of India Sanitation Coalition Awards. So my thoughts, again, echoing what has been said in the past, the way things have to unfold for a country like the size and scale of India, especially when it comes to the space of sanitation. While we are talking of solid waste management as the next logical step, I think it's a very welcome step. It broadens not only the scope of things that we should be doing as respective organizations, but also enables everybody to look at a broader gamut of things when it comes to the issue of sanitation. So few of my thoughts. One, I think as a platform, together, as my previous speaker also mentioned, we are trying in unison, and that's what really makes a difference. Second point, yes, recognition is very significant because that it gives you more confidence as an institution and also to participants and winners that yes, you are moving in the right direction. But again, I think what is the next step for us? In my own view, I would urge that if collectively we can consider the winners of each year, maybe forming some kind of regional chapters, which could be either state level chapters, where the winning firms assume a leadership position for that particular year. And some kind of sensitization responsibility should be given to the winners as a part of the package where they have been recognized. And I think that way we will be able to get much greater participation. More than participation, I think the appreciation of the challenges that we have at our hand, that appreciation is itself a big step to take. These are my thoughts on and I think in terms of continuity, yes, there is a lot of merit. At some stage, we could also think of maybe not is the right now is not the right time, but at some stage also adding on a component of doing some kind of field evaluation at some stage later on, because even when certain experts as a panel visit the field and share their thoughts with the participating organizations, there are lots of ideation and lots of ideas that happen even then. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Ms. Kaveri Bamzai, independent journalist with more than 30 years at India Today, the Indian Express, and the Times of India, to share some pointers for those who want to apply for our awards. Over to you, ma'am. I think, are you there, ma'am?
She's there, but on mute.
Okay, can you hear me and see me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Kidwai. Thank you so much, Dr. Mashelkar. Such a pleasure to be here. A quick couple of points. One, I think, Ms. Kidwai, the book that you wrote is still so relevant and in fact really is showing us the way forward. So thank you for that. I continue to look at it as a great source material for anything that I write on sanitation. Dr. Mashelkar, I'd like to thank you for the assured framework that you've given us. I find it so useful in any other jury duties that I have. I find that it's the best way to measure, the abilities, the champions. So thank you for that. There are 2-3 things that I'd like to say. One, I think the kind of model that ISC has developed for these awards, which is the public-private media partnership, is something that needs to be taken to other fields as well. Now, I know that both of you are terribly busy, but may I please urge Ms. Kidwai to look at the skills sector as one area where this kind of network could be replicated, because I think the kind of push that sanitation from the collaboration between the public sector and between the corporate sector and the media is exactly what the skill sector now needs, because I feel that that is really the next area that we need to focus on. So that's, of course, something that I've put on the shoulders of Mrs. Kidwai and Dr. Mashelkar. I hope you can consider that, because I feel that that's one area which somehow has not been able to progress as much as it ought to. Two, I think, is there a way that we can utilize this network, and my fellow speakers refer to this as well, where we can create a mentorship as well of some of the winners, and they can start sharing their experiences with others. So create a sort of virtual circle of good, where there can be a network where our winners can become mentors to others, and we can actually expand, all these case studies and make them, make them more visible and make them more, and expand that circle of good, as I would like to call it. The third is, I think we need to also make these winners more visible in the media. And I think that is where we need to start working a little more, especially in the digital sector. Maybe we need to look at, expanding them in the area, making them visible on Instagram, making them more visible on social media, and not just making this an annual event. I know it's not just that, but actually making these making little daily videos, or making making this something that's not just an annual or a 6-monthly ritual, but a daily cycle. And that, I think, is going to be possible if we're able to use social media well. So that's really my 2 or 3 thoughts. Lots of work, I know, but I'm happy to, collaborate with Sanjeev and with Mitali on this. And really, I'm very excited about this. And this is my second year on the jury. And each year I find such wonderful examples of people who are doing work that, we don't recognize often enough. And just one point, you mentioned Damodar, Mr. Damodar of Gramalaya. I'd like to say and take a little bit of credit. He was one of our first winners when we did the Safaigiri Awards in India Today, when I was part of that. So he was one of our first winners. So I'm so glad that, he's finally got a national honor as well. But that's really the power of what sometimes the media can do some good as well. That's really the power that it has. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kaveri. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We will surely work on implementing some of your ideas. Those are very good ideas. So moving further, I invite Mr. Parul Soni, founder and global managing partner, Think Through Consulting, to share his thoughts on what he would like to see in this year's nominations.
Thank you so much, Mitali, and also Nanaji, for inviting me. Sanjeev has been, been working with us. Today, I'm a bit under the weather. The thinking is, when we look at these awards, and I've been very vocal in this entire our juries, to see that we want to see more sustainable and people who are business minded. Because my thinking is, being an entrepreneur myself, I look at the possibility to see that, one, we need more impactful, purposeful and sustainable organizations applying for these awards. The second is, when they apply for these awards, my also advice to them would be that, they have to also see that there has to be a proof of concept and business side of it. Because sometimes when we judge these awards, it is very, very difficult to give them awards because we feel that there is no life after this. So those are things which we look at it, and we basically want to see in the awards which are, which people will apply in this year as such. Secondly, what happens is that when people apply, they also feel that, there is too much work to do in terms of, paperwork to send, in terms of the certificates, and also, a lot of paperwork to write as such. I think my suggestion to ISC would be that if we can create maybe a virtual form which can be submitted, and which can be, we can have 2 or 3 phase process where people can apply for the first round, and we do that. But I think we have to be more rigor. We have to bring more rigor into the entire thinking of making that possible, and to see that, good, people and applications come to us. The third is that our voice has to reach as, the voice has to reach the grassroots level. We are not getting some of the grassroots good entrepreneurs and good organizations for these awards. Sometimes we have to really see that these awards are definitely important, and these awards are very helpful, as you also said that these awards also become a stamp for integrity as such. But my thinking is that we are not reaching the real cutting edge or the grassroots level as such. So we have to do more outreach, and we have to do more thinking how we will be using social media channels and various channels to see that we should reach those aspects. I liked what Deepak said, that there has to be field visits. I feel that if we have to bring more power to this award, we have to see that field visits have to be there, which means that field visits are essential part for some of the categories. I'm not saying for all the categories, but some of the categories which are top categories, we should also see that a team should go and see what they have written. Are they really what they are as such? And that's what we feel will be important and bring credibility to the entire award process as such. Because awards these days are, people are trying to bring a lot of awards, but my thinking is the awards which ISC run is one of the best in India, and also I think best in South Asia as such. And that's the credibility and energy you have brought, and Professor Saab has brought to this award as such. And we will be more than happy not only to support you, collaborate, and also help you in this time to come, and also we'll work relentlessly to make this better and also more purposeful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words. I now invite Ms. Meena Narula, ex-country director and managing trustee, Water for People, to share her experience as an eminent member of our awards jury.
And Mitali, with your permission, we would request the other jury members who are likely to share their thoughts to be a little brief in the interest of time. Thank you.
Thank you, India Sanitation Coalition team, Naina ji and Dr. Mashelkar, to have me here for sharing my thoughts. From 2015, almost associated with India Sanitation Coalition for about 4 years now. I would very confidently say I haven't seen such a fast-paced growing consortium where each of the members feels that the consortium belongs to them. So, that ownership and that association with the consortium is phenomenal. You could reach out, anytime for any information to the team members, and the amount of rigor that has been put into how the awards have grown over a period of time, having been on the jury for the past 4 years. A very solid framework, whether it is looking at the BOMT or the assured framework, which also continuously has evolved in terms of the evaluations which have been undertaken by the jury members. I think each of the awardees is really par excellence, who has either submitted or received any kind of feedback in terms of how their entries could be better, or have received award and recognition for the work that they have undertaken. So this kind of rigor is something which we have witnessed as jury members firsthand. And as I said, it's been very fast paced, but it has also been a platform where there has been constant innovation. There has been constant visibility. I think the India Sanitation Coalition Awards now are known at not only the state level, but many district level non-profit organizations also aspire to apply for these awards. And the level of excellence which has been put into various processes. We've seen the events which are being organized when the awards are conferred upon the successful entries. There is a lot of knowledge that rests within the consortium. I think while we are looking at an outreach event for awards, I would really want to say that being a part of a number of other committees which the India Sanitation Coalition has, it's a really well-rounded consortium to be a part of and to take a lot of pride in being a part of this consortium. So thank you so much, and a huge congratulations to everybody who's present here. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Without taking much time, I now invite Mr. Sasanka, Advisor Program and Management at WASH Institute, to say a few words.
Thanks, Mitali. Please excuse me. I will not come on video since I'm not well. But I will not take much time also. Thank you so much for having me on the jury. Thank you to Mashelkar sir, Naina ji, for giving me the opportunity to serve. It's been a privilege to see so many extraordinary efforts at improving sanitation in our country, to learn from them, and also to make very difficult choices every year in selecting winners from a tough choice. I would echo what Professor Chari said. Time is running out. We have a lot to do. And so I think all the fellow jury members' suggestions about how to take the good work to scale across the country, I think that is something that we can all collectively look at. So I will not take too much time. Thank you again for having me and for giving me the opportunity. Great congratulations to all the winners so far. Looking forward to many more years of ISC FICCI serving the sanitation sector. Thank you.
Thanks, Shashanka, and get well soon. Yeah, thanks for coming, Ronnie.
Thank you all for sharing your thoughts with us. I'm sure all those who are planning to apply for this year's awards will benefit from these reflections and guidance, as Dr. Mashelkar had shared with us all. Awards are a great way of gaining recognition and respect among your peers. They can help you develop deeper relationships with customers, investors, suppliers, partners, and the media. So let's hear straight from the horse's mouth, as in our next segment, our awardees would share their experiences. First, we have with us Mr. Rakesh Kasba, founder Jalod Burst, who was awarded in 2020 for his excellent work for upliftment of sanitation workers. Over to you, Mr. Rakesh.
Yeah, good evening. I hope I'm audible.
Yes,
Yes,
you are.
Rakesh, you are. Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Mashelkar, Ms. Naina Kidwai, Dr. Chari, and all the luminaries and my colleagues, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to come here. I am a civil engineer by training and have spent nearly 3 decades in river engineering and hydraulic engineering. So from there, I am almost a recent entrant into the sanitation sector. The problem that attracted me was manual scavenging, and this person manual scavenger. And the solution to me from the engineering point of view was bringing a machine or a series of machines which would be affordable, easy to operate, and which would create livelihoods. So this man was the focus. I came up, and luckily I could manage some inventions. I'm thankful to ISC FICCI for having recognized the impact, the import of this, by awarding Jalodbast for excellence in upliftment of sanitation workers. This was exactly the objective of my organization, or the intent we had come with. Luckily, we also got awarded by American Society of Mechanical Engineers for the machine, and Earthtech Australia for seeing the opportunity as useful globally. So all these awards, they have been the asset and the strength that we are living on. Everybody knows getting venture capitalists into this sector is pretty difficult. And we depend on organizations and platforms like ISC FICCI to take this message across. And meanwhile, with these awards, we get a platform, we get a voice, and we get some recognition and comfort that we are on the right path. Thank you very much. I won't take any further time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Kasba, for motivating our audience. I would now like to invite Ms. Nidhi Batra, founder, Sehriti Development Practices. She is representing Griha today, awardee in 2021 for the best non-profit engagement model in sanitation. Over to you.
Thanks, Mithali. Thank you everyone for having us here. I'm representing Griha. And for us, this award was very valuable, and we appreciate the opportunity for doing this for two reasons. One, of course, while the process of filing this, Mr. Rasheed Ganju was the president of Griha, passed away, but he was very, very keen that this message of his work that he had been doing for last more than 15 years in Ayanagar here in Delhi does get the necessary recognition and scale up. So going from that perspective, I think what we really enjoyed was also the way your application form was. So it had a lot of aspect about impact, about viewing environment and social impact. And I think that's a language which needs to get integrated in all development projects, and not post facto, but right from the beginning. So that is something that we really appreciated. Second, I think what we enjoyed was for this project, when we started documenting the work, we started again speaking to the community. And there is a certain pride that the community themselves feel, when the projects get recognition. So it's not just for the professionals or people in this sector, but even the community which has been part of this entire process, and our work was actually recognized in terms of participatory practices. So I think that was a great feeling, not just for us, but other people who were engaged in the project. I'm just going to take a minute in respect to what additional we think can be benefited or would be helpful to organizations like us. I agree with the mentorship and, almost like an incubator kind of model. So while we are being recognized for the efforts, I think there are a lot of areas where a lot of organizations like us do get stuck. So is there something which can be a long-term engagement, and challenges and issues, like, for example, in procurement, or having the right skill sets, or having the right technologies. I mean, all of these are verticals which we can actually now combine and have best practices from all the juries and all the awards that you already have. So almost like the old cliche community of practice, but making it much more efficient and much more engaged would be greatly beneficial, so there is a post life of these awards. Thank you so much for having me here.
I would request everyone to please go on mute, and we will be taking queries towards the end of the session. Thank you. And Nidhi, responding to your question on incubators, and also we have something coming up for this segment as well. So stay tuned, right? And thank you so much for giving excellent tips to our applicants. Moving further, let me invite Mr. Giresh Mohan, Operations Manager, Corporate Social Investments, ITC Limited, who were awarded as Best Corporate Initiative in Sanitation in 2019. He has over 18 years of experience in the sector, so start taking notes, guys. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mithali. Thank you, FICCI ISC Coalition, for inviting us to this forum. I think awards like this are very important, not just that they recognize the good work done by organization, but also because they highlight various models and provide an opportunity to cross-learn. In a diverse country like ours, I think there's not one solution which will fit to all. Thus, it's important that we understand and highlight various approaches. That way, I think ISC has done a great job where they are not only limiting themselves to the award, but also they also come up with publication, compendium of success stories, and event like this where we cross-learn, we have a forum for dialogue. We got this award in 2019. At that time, only 64% of our catchment were ODF. From there, today, all our catchment, which includes around 500 villages and wards, have been declared ODF. This we have done in partnership with Swachh Bharat Mission. As a next stage of this sanitation, now we are focusing on solid waste management, for which we have developed 4 models, specifically for large cities, town, rural areas, and temples. The fundamental principle of these models all is same, that we should shift from dependent development syndrome to community-led development, where beneficiaries are becoming part of development program, and we build a system for sustainability of the intervention by investing on behavior change, by setting up O&M mechanism and building capacities of CBO. And the last one, which many speakers are also highlighting, of building multi-stakeholder partnership. We ourselves has many examples where we build partnership and could reach to this scale. For building toilet, as I said, we worked with SBM, and as a result of that, we could impact more than 1 lakh population in 23 districts across 16 states in India. In solid waste management, again, we have built partnership with various urban local bodies, Jila Panchayats, which is actually helping us to address this issue in a larger scale. Today, we cover more than 50 lakh households, and the ultimate goal which we have set for ourselves was that waste going to landfill should be reduced. And I'm happy to share that only 18% of the waste is going to landfill compared to almost 100% which was going to landfill in baseline. The good thing about this award, I'll say, is that there is a holistic approach of evaluation which is applied here. It's not only focusing on the outcome alone, but equally on the approach, the processes like community development, innovation, sustainability, etc., which anyway are very critical and central to successful development program. So I think forums like this and what we are discussing today, if we have more and more opportunity to interact, this cross-learning will help many of us. And what we are discussing, what Mr. Chari has also mentioned, that almost we are running out of time if we want to achieve sustainable development goal of especially SDG 6 2030. So we need to build various partnership at different levels, national level, regional level, and local level. We will be very happy to be part of any such movement, any such forums. So once again, thank you to ISC Coalition for inviting us and also recognizing the work that we could do in the EGS. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for appreciating our efforts, and thank you for sharing the excellent work that ITC is doing in the sector. I now invite Ms. Ulka Sadalkar, Director Sara Plast, who were awarded a special mention in 2019 for Best Corporate Initiative in Sanitation. Over to you, Ulka. Ulka, are you there? So I think we have lost her.
We can move on to the next.
Yeah.
In interest of time. Thank you.
So I would now like to invite Mr. Vipin MK, Marketing Manager at Gen Robotics, who are using robotics and artificial intelligence to eradicate manual scavenging. Over to you, Vipin.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone present here. So thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about how FICCI Award helped us on our journey. Before that, let me give an introduction about what we are. So, Robotics is now a national award-winning startup from Kerala, and we are primarily focusing on designing and developing robotic solutions to address the various social issues facing our society in sanitation and as well as healthcare. We have been constantly focusing on uplifting the lives of the sanitation workers in our country by inventing the Bandicoot robot, the world's first robotic scavenger to end manual scavenging. We introduced the Mission RoboHole in order to reach out more sanitation workers to provide them with safety, empower them, and most importantly, give them a better life by training them into the robot operators. Now we are successfully implemented Mission RoboHole by expanding Bandicoot's reach to over 14 states of the country and rehabilitating more than 1,100 workers. So the Best Corporate Initiative Award by FICCI helped us immensely to transform the company and our ability to provide a better world for the future generation. The recognition helped us with better visibility, getting several opportunities to pitch over to various governments and decision makers of the country. We are proud to say thank you, FICCI, for recognizing us and making us believe that we can make an impact in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Vipin. Gen Robotics' success is truly motivational. Moving further, I would like to invite Ms. Asavari Kane, founder member and research head at Patkia Labs, who were awarded in 2020 as having the best engagement model in sanitation by our startup. Over to you, Asavari.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi. So thank you for having us here. Firstly, I would just give you a brief about what Padcare is doing. We have developed a disposal and recycling system for absorbent hygiene products. So we are basically converting the used sanitary napkins and diapers into cellulose and plastics, which could be converted into tabletops, plant pots, and table blocks. So we were awarded in the year 2020 by ISC FICCI, and thank you for that recognition because it has really given us the credibility, visibility for our market entry as well as scale up. I would like to say that because of this, we are currently serving Mahindra and Mahindra, P&G, JSW, and we are serving almost 25,000 females on daily monthly basis. We have recycled more than 70,000 pads, and we have saved like almost 376 metric tons of carbon, which, by the way, comes to a value of planting almost 37,000 trees. We have also recovered 1.5 metric tons of material, which is almost equal to making 90,000 A4 sheets. So that is the kind of impact that we have now created, and this has definitely happened because of the recognition given to us by ISC FICCI. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Asavari. Isn't it good to know that so much work is being done in the sector, and most importantly, startups are coming forward in the sector too? So last but not the least, let me invite Ms. Srija Santosh, Business Development Manager at IRM Scientific Solutions, who were awarded in 2019 for Best Engagement Model in Sanitation by a Social Enterprise. Thank you. Over to you, Srija.
Thank you. Thank you, Mitali. Very glad to be here in this very august presence. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the jury and the guests here for the tremendous encouragement and the thoughts and ideas that has been shared here. Many of you know IRM Scientific. Just a small introduction. We are a social enterprise, a research and development company which has been working in the sanitation field for the past 12 years, bringing innovation and new technologies in the sector. And as part of the Swachh Bharat mission, we have been recipient of Safai Giri, Toilet Titan Awards, Sachadhan Awards, and have since installed 4,000 plus units across India in 23 states and 18 smart cities, working with various municipalities, CSR companies in bringing these innovative solutions in the ground. Currently, we are also committed in bringing waste management solutions as part of the Reinvent the Toilet Challenge, partnered with BMGF, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And in collaboration, we have we have piloted many of the waste management solutions, and these are now going to be implemented in many regions. So this is our recent work that we are doing, and we are very appreciative of this esteemed organizations like ISC, FICCI, which has helped us in showcasing our models, and we have also been a recipient of award from this august organization. The model that we had presented this year has been the social enterprise category. In that we had recently we had piloted a new model that is bringing business model in the sanitation sector, which we call micro enterprises for sanitation, where we are engaging the community in taking care of the toilet. But at the same time, we are ensuring that the SHGs or the marginalized section who has been, enlisted to or trained and upskilled, they are getting and assuring that they are getting a decent livelihood from this entire ecosystem. So in this, we have done, throughout this COVID period, we have been working with many of the SHGs, municipalities, especially we got tremendous support from the Odisha government, UNICEF in implementing and piloting our first model there, and subsequently with the help of HDFC CSR fund, we are very happy to say that we have developed and we have put in place many of these models, and they are successfully running, generating a decent livelihood for the SHGs who have taken the ownership of ensuring that the public toilet that has been installed and given to them as a responsibility is taken very much, and ensuring that it is clean for the public. And now as we see from the usage data that we are online, from the online platforms, we see that the usage has really gone up, especially in the November-December data that we had taken. Of course, January it was total lockdown in Odisha, but otherwise there was a tremendous increase in the usage data that we had collected from the toilet, and also the revenue that they have generated. It was a very decent livelihood amount that they have collected, and from the thoughts and the ideas that they have shared with us, we are happy to we are also happy that they are getting a lot of benefit from our models here. So the micro enterprise for sanitation that we have done in Cuttack, Puri and Kerala, this confirms the success of the model that we had presented here as well. And our goal is to engage more communities to ensure that the public toilets are self-sustaining and transforming each of these sanitation space into small-scale business units so that it can self-sustain itself, and ensuring that it is sustainable. Thank you so much for this forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Srija. I'm sure our applicants in 2022 will now be better prepared and highly motivated to apply. So moving to our next segment, media coverage gets the message across to a wider audience and helps establish the business as credible and its activities as notable. Media coverage is a powerful tool in any marketing strategy. We have with us two eminent media personalities. So let me first invite Ms. Lakshmi Menon, CEO of Express Publications. In her nodal role at Express Publications, Ms. Menon leads its operations and strategic growth with responsibility of bottom line, long-range planning, product development, and brand and growth strategies, along with new business initiatives. She has been associated with the New Indian Express Group for 25 years. She is also on the board of directors of Event Express Management Services and Kannada Prabha Publications Limited. Ms. Menon, could you please say a few words on your association with the IC FICCI Sanitation Awards? Over to you, Ms. Menon.
Thank you, Mithali, for that very warm introduction. And thank you, Ms. Kidwai, Dr. Mashlekar, Mr. Jha, for having me here today. It's indeed commendable that the ISC FICCI Sanitation Award completes 5 years. 5 years of bringing so many people together across various geographical areas and groups with the objective to drive sustainable sanitation through a collaborative and partnership model. The body of work that's been done and showcased is absolutely awesome. It has been a pleasure at TNI to be associated with these awards and the India Sanitation Coalition Conclave 2020, and we'd be very happy to continue this association in future. Meanwhile, we would be delighted to partner in the efforts of the ISC by amplifying the conversation and engagement around sustainable sanitation across the country through our newspapers, websites, and publications. Mr. Soni spoke about the need for penetration and the information regarding these awards into our villages. And here I can commit on behalf of our vernacular newspapers, which reach every nook and corner of the state, like our Tamil publication, our Kannada publication, and our Malayalam website. We would do whatever we can to amplify this message across. The awards, as Mithali has been saying, inspires and galvanizes people across the country, development professionals, corporates, and communities to pitch in, do their bit, and come together. As a media organization, we do believe that these stories, such as those of the awardees, I mean, some wonderful stories that I've heard today, and the fabulous work that has been done across various groups in this segment needs to be told, as they have a very positive impact in inspiring and propelling more people to work in this area. As Kaveri spoke, create that virtual circle of good. And we'd be very happy to do a little bit in making this a reality.
Great.
With more and more people joining the movement, I'm sure we can achieve the goal of clean India that is garbage free with nil liquid discharge. We do believe that this is possible, and I can, on behalf of TNI, say that we commit ourselves to doing whatever we can to spread this message across. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Fabulous work.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now like to invite Ms. Kaveri Bamzai again, who has more than 30 years of experience with India Today, the Indian Express, and the Times of India. Ms. Bamzai, could you please share your thoughts with us as a media representative guiding and supporting these awards? And can I please, before Ms. Bamzai says, can I please ask the audience to please go on mute? Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Lakshmi. Lakshmi is my colleague. I do a lot of work with her as well in my capacity now as an independent journalist. And I can vouch for the fact that the New Indian Express group really does go very deep and very wide, which actually brings me to my main point today. Talking about the nominees that we've seen so far in this particular category, I feel that using newspapers and media organizations like Lakshmi's, we can actually go much deeper and wider and get many more nominees for our categories. And I think that is something that we need to focus on going forward. We need to get, right down to the district and village level. And in some of the examples that we saw tremendous work happening in, tiny villages, sort of, small districts using traditional folk arts. And I thought those are the things that we need to highlight as well. I think organizations like Lakshmi's are very vital in that. The regional languages are very important in that. If we can get that message across, it'll be great. We'll have many more to choose from, and we should. That's one. Second, I feel that now that it's been 5 years, I think we can also start checking back on our winners and see how they're doing, assess their work, see if there is some assistance that we can provide them. I think Sanjeev is raising his hand, so I guess that's being done. So I'm sorry if, I thought that it wasn't. But I think that's something that really is very critical, because sometimes we sort of, choose winners and then we forget all about them. We need to actually be in constant touch with them I'm glad you're doing that, Sanjeev. I'm sorry if I
That's
thought
okay,
you
no
weren't.
problem.
Three, to get back to my point about traditional and conventional art forms, in some of the nominees that we saw tremendous use of folk art, wall paintings and things like that. I think those are some areas that we need to explore further. India has so many different kinds of traditional art forms. We should explore that and see if work is being done in those areas. And if it's not being done, perhaps create some awareness where that can be done. I think then the message will really go down deep and wide. And the last point really is, I think the whole point about the amplification and the multiplier effect, I always believe that you cannot be what you cannot see. So if you do see more winners, like if people see themselves winning, if people see people like themselves winning, I think it creates a tremendous multiplier effect. And that really is the end goal of any such award, in creating this as I said, circle of good, circle of champions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mitali, before you come in, I think I will not respond, but I will request Natasha ma'am in the next segment when she talks, then she may respond to what Kaveri has. No?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I was just about to mention the memento, but anyways. So thank you, ma'am, and thank you both for sharing your views with us. Media coverage can certainly have a multiplier effect on the good work that is being carried out in the sector. So yeah, that's a thing. I would now like to invite Ms. Natasha Patel, CEO, India Sanitation Coalition, to address the audience and share details regarding the nomination process.
Natasha, before you come in, I just want to thank everyone for the comments made. We've all noted these. I've certainly painstakingly taken these down. I'm not going to respond to each, but maybe come back to you for a little more color and guidance. But every one of your suggestions, the mentorships, how to widen media coverage, assistance to awardees have been well noted. And we will be taking all of these forward. So thank you so much for being with us today and making some of these important points.
Natasha ma'am.
Natasha ma'am.
First of all, a very warm welcome. I know it's in the middle of all the proceedings, but it's still important for me to say this. This is really something that we've been trying to do for the last, I guess for the last awards as well. We just somehow couldn't get it all together, but this time I'm really excited about this outreach event. It's important, first of all, to talk about what we want to do in these awards, because every year, and for those of you who've been with us, specifically the jury, over the years, the awards have evolved, not just organically, but inorganically as well. What's happening in the country has also impacted the way we view these awards. So, very, very exciting times. I think the momentum with SPM2, which started even though we were in the middle of the pandemic, SPM2 started really vigorously. The government is pushing it quite actively, and we found that the society, the private sector is also coming in quite nicely. So again, when I heard Dr. Chari say time is running out, it really is running out. There is so much to do, and every day we discover way more things to do and then the time permits. So thank you for constantly reminding us of that. I'm just going to go into a bit on the awards themselves before I talk about the process. So Dr. Mashelkar spoke about the assured framework. And for anyone who's really interested in understanding how these awards are adjudicated, the assured framework is a really simple but very, very transparent process. When I got introduced to it, I remember thinking to myself, my God, this is like, it was like a moment of awakening. It has every word that is there: affordable, scalable, sustainable, universal, rapid, affordable, excellence, and distinctive. each single word means something very, very distinctive. And we use this incessantly whenever we're looking at any category. So again, really, really important. We have introduced a much wider jury this year. And the reason for that is, I think Naina alluded to this, we are moving much broader. We have included in our, in our remit, we are looking at wastewater reuse. We are looking at the whole concept of wastewater management. We're looking at solid waste. And within that, we are looking at areas like plastic and municipal solid waste. And effectively with the government, we are now evolving very strong narratives. On the DDWS side, we're thinking about what we call lighthouse villages, which are then going to show the way for the districts in themselves. And then on the urban side with Mahua, we're looking at zero waste cities. And these are not just concepts, these are not just very, I guess, very sexy words, if you may call it that, that journalists may want to use, but these are actually very, very critical in terms of understanding what needs to be done on the ground. So they're not evolved at a, at a theoretical level, but it's actually data coming from the NGOs, the development organizations that are working on the ground that are helping us to develop these ideas. And that is clearly where our awards come in, because every time we showcase an awardee, the awardee is not just showcased for today. And this is maybe to answer your question, Kaveri. The awardee is actually showcased in many, many ways in the future as well. So we use our awardees, and I have to say use, because we use them incessantly. We don't abuse them, but we definitely use them. And we would wish to do a lot more. So last year, for the first time, as a point of appreciation, we brought out the memento, which was essentially looking at 5 years of the awards, this being our 6th, and trying to understand exactly what these awards have achieved. I do believe that there is a lot more that we can do. You're absolutely right. And it is our endeavor to continue to do it every day. Finally, this is also a platform where we get the opportunity to showcase not only, and I think some of our awardees mentioned this, not only to the government, but also to VCs, that look, here is a sterling idea that you need to invest in. So do go back, do look at it, do understand it, and take it forward. Is there something more that we can do with them? I think, yes, I think it was Dr. Chari or someone who mentioned, Mr. Damodaran's Padma awardee, right? Should we take them to a national level? Should we take them to an international level? I would love to do so. If anybody has ideas that ISC can adopt to be able to take our awardees into that direction, I would be more than happy. The mentor idea is clearly something that I'm very excited about. We will definitely look at that. And we have taken away all our ideas. I won't go into them over here, but just some that I would like to mention, which have really hit me. The best practice sharing with other sectors, I thought was really interesting. Simplifying the process, Parul, yes, maybe we could. We did try, Sanjeev and I, we went into that form in so much detail last year, trying to break it down and make it much, much simpler than what it is. But I do believe that, it is important to get a certain amount of data to be able to evaluate. Otherwise, our jury will not be able to take the decisions that they take. So because they're a very exacting jury as well. So I'm very proud of that, actually. Voice to reach to a wider audience. Lakshmi ji, we will definitely take you up on that offer. Please, be ready for our phone calls very soon, because I think that is a fabulous offer. Going regional is something that we have wanted to do, but not really understood how we could do it. And on the incubator side, Nena mentioned the Rashid Kidwai Innovation Awards. This is clearly very close to everyone's heart, at least in the Secretariat. We, for us, this is our baby. We have brought it to life last year, and we want to take it to immense heights in the future. We're very, very ambitious about this. We have got already some sponsors who are willing to sponsor the awards, going forward. And these will be, unlike our regular awards, these will be paid awards. So the awardees will be given a kitty with which to make their award or to make their innovation, take it to market. But more importantly, they will also be supported by incubators like Social Alpha, like DISC, and like Sign, to help them to understand how to grow, because clearly that's one area that most of the startups require support in as they start out in life. So again, just some thoughts I wanted to share with you. Very quickly going into the process. So we are currently soliciting entries for the 6th edition of the awards. And this is from 2nd February 2022. So you'll see it going live on the 2nd of February. The awards will again be given in the 10 categories, and I'm going to quickly read them out. The first is the Best Corporate Initiative in Sanitation, CSR, small and large. The second, Best Nonprofit Engagement Model in Sanitation, rural and urban. The third, Best Communication in Sanitation, traditional and digital. The fourth, Best Innovative Financial Accessibility Model for WASH, large financial institutions, micro institutions, banks, and government financial institutions. Number 5, Best Engagement Model in Sanitation by a social enterprise or startup. Number 6, Special Recognition Awards for the government, urban and rural. Number 7, Best Fecal Sludge and Septage Management Model, urban and rural. Number 8, Best Skilling Initiative for Sanitation. And this could be a point, Kaveri, that we take forward. You talked about livelihoods, and I think it's important that we actually think more deeply about this. Whether it is Nena and Dr. Mashelkar starting a separate initiative there, I don't know, but is there something we could just do within this itself? We can think about that.
Yeah, but Natasha, most certainly, as we've already discussed, to look at the skills space within sanitation, water, and now, of course, in the whole solid waste management space is something we can certainly commit to.
Absolutely, Nana. Absolutely. Absolutely. Excellence. The 9th one is the excellence on work for upliftment of sanitation workers. And this is one which is very close to my heart, because I do believe that whatever work is being done today is too little and too late in our country. And we have to go much, much faster on this, on this aspect. And the last one, which is the new one we introduced last year, and I'm very proud of, which is the Women Game Changers in Sanitation. This is clearly something that we are going to put a lot of focus on this year as well. Now, how to apply? You have to download the application forms like always, and these will inform you of the procedure for the application through the India Sanitation Coalition website. And the URL will be made available post the 2nd of February 2022. Please ensure that your nomination is complete in all respects. And if you should have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. Our team is always there. Sanjeev, Mithali, and the rest of the Secretariat are always there and ready to help out in whichever way we can. And finally, the closing date for entries is the 30th of March, 2022. We are very hopeful that all our possible potential awardees will be coming in much earlier than that. But should you have a problem, again, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. So all the very best to every single one of you who is thinking of applying. We are very excited and very keen to see your applications. So please do get them in as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Tavi, you're muted.
Thank you, ma'am, for explaining the entire process of application. We would now like to invite our guest of honor, Mr. G. Mathivatnan, to address the gathering. Mr. Mathivatnan is an IAS officer of 1994 batch of Odisha cadre and is currently the Principal Secretary, Department of Housing and Urban Development, Government of Odisha. Nana ma'am has already talked about his work. So without taking much time, over to you, Mathi sir.
And Mithali, very quickly, Mathi sir has been a winner himself in the special recognition for the government category urban last year. So over to Mathi sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Mashelkar, Ms. Kidwai Madam, Ms. Natasha Patel, eminent jury members, other dignitaries, participants. Good afternoon to all. I hope everyone here is keeping well in this time of global distress. It's my pleasure to be part of this esteemed group of leaders and experts in the sanitation sector. I'm grateful to the India Sanitation Coalition FICCI Awards organizers for inviting me to speak in this prestigious forum. Odisha's association with the ISC FICCI began with the Special Recognition Award for the state in the year 2019, Sanitation Awards for the exemplary implementation of FSSM in urban Odisha. Since then, the coalition has recognized our efforts, continued to recognize our efforts on sanitation on multiple platforms, and awarded the state for its performance on 5 different occasions with 6 awards so far. Thank you, ISC FICCI, for acknowledging our pioneering contributions and encouraging us all along. Community-led and community-centric decentralized solution is the DNA of our approach to various urban challenges, be it the challenges of managing solid waste or liquid waste or urban poor living in the slums in urban Odisha. We are committed to continuing our path-breaking initiatives and programs, not only to bring about transformative changes in the lives of the people in urban Odisha, but also to serve as lighthouse and inspiration for other similarly challenged cities, states, and countries. Odisha began its journey on FSSM in 2015-16 with an objective of tackling the pollution and contamination of our water resources. The state has 70 lakh urban population and growing with a decadal growth of 26%. However, till 2016, only one city, Puri, in Odisha had sewerage network and treatment facility. And such facilities were coming up in 2 other cities only, Bhubaneswar and Cuttack. Today, with the implementation of FSSM, the state has close to 100 functional septic treatment plants, and we will have septic treatment facilities across all 114 cities in the state before the end of this year. These plants will also have the surplus capacity to cater to the peripheral rural areas, presenting a case of shared services with rural-urban convergence. We already have commenced this convergence program in 45 cities in 7 districts, focusing on 7 major river sources. We are now taking up the challenge of treating 100% grey water generated across urban Odisha, a step forward in our commitment to achieve total sanitation, covering both black and grey water management. To assure the safety and dignity of core sanitation workers, Odisha, through the Garima scheme, formalizes and regulates core sanitation services, providing higher guaranteed wages, special allowances, comprehensive social security benefits, and financial assistance. Under the scheme, core sanitation workers who are engaged while manual scavengers have assured safe workplace conditions, including safety and protective equipments, with access to exclusive lounge facility for them at the workplaces. We are also happy to be the pioneers of partnering with women self-help groups and the transgender groups in managing the sanitation activities, right from construction to operation and maintenance of the sanitation infrastructure, such as public toilets, FSTPs, cesspool vehicles, etc. Similar is our approach in the solid waste management too. The model is a passion to me, given its direct benefits in enhancing the livelihood of women and other vulnerable community collectives, thereby leading to their empowerment. A testimony to this innovative effort is the honoring of Ms. Sheetal Bastia with the Women Changemaker Award last year. Ms. Sheetal is the president of a transgender SSG, which is managing the septic treatment plant at Cuttack Municipal Corporation. The transgender members have been spotted in the road traffic signals. They were taking arms. We brought them together, counseled and trained them in the operations of septic treatment plant, made them to believe in themselves and to lead a more dignified life. They are now managing the entire operation and management of the treatment plant for over 2 years quite successfully. It would be grossly an understatement if I say it was heartening and encouraging to see that this transgender group has received national recognition, but actually we were thrilled and excited to see that our efforts in mainstreaming and empowering the most marginalized section of the society got the Best Performer Award in the sanitation sector at the national level. That too in the Women Change Maker category. Ms. Natasha Patel was mentioning about this particular category, which got instituted last year. I was fortunate to listen to the words of the jury head before announcing that award last year in the last year's ceremony. How that award category got instituted for the first time last year, and how in the very first edition of that particular category, the transgender was considered as a nominee, and several rounds of deliberations happened over the selection of a transgender under women category. And finally, the jury decided to confer the award to her. I have truly experienced the happiness similar to that of a parent when we got that news. I congratulate the jury for their boldness in making such historic and revolutionary decision. Dr. Mashelkar, Mrs. Natasha Patel, and the great jury, you have contributed a lot to the social reform process in this way. With conferring such awards to such persons, FICCI and the jury raised their own level and the stature of the award to such an enviable level. Hats off to ISC FICCI and the great jury. Awards are a testament to an organization and institution's work ethics and the quality of its services and achievements. They validate their leadership in the sector and prove that they are ahead of the curve. Besides, they endorse innovative intervention, successful startups and pilots, government, non-government organizations' efforts, and motivate them on their journey to scale up and raise finances. More importantly, they set examples and benchmarks for others to emulate. The ISC FICCI awards are evidence of the success in achieving these outcomes through its past 5 editions. Hearteningly, some of the big corporate houses, convinced on the merit of these awards, have expressed the need for creative and innovative funding models to take the sanitation program from toilet construction and maintenance to behavioral change and seeding entrepreneurship in the sector. FICCI has instituted many awards across multiple sectors, but the ISC FICCI Sanitation Awards are the most prestigious awards in the sanitation sector at the national level for over 5 years. I'm happy that this year, ISC FICCI is launching these awards through an outreach event to reach out to institutions, potential new entrants into the awards fray 2022, rather than waiting for them to respond to the usual call for nominations. It could undoubtedly lead to have many more entries, thereby enabling them to set the bar much higher to make contestants keenly compete for the top position across all awards categories. I therefore urge all potential applicants of different types across the country to aspire for these prestigious ISC FICCI awards and wish them well in their efforts. Now, without taking any longer, I now formally declare the ISC FICCI Awards 2022 open, wishing all of you good health and great performance. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We are now almost towards the end of the session. So I would like to invite my colleague, Dr. Sanjeev Shekhar Jha, Director, India Sanitation Collision, to give a vote of thanks and also respond to questions that the audience might like to ask, seeking clarification. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Mitali, but we are running, like we are over by 3 minutes. So, but then I will take this opportunity to thank Mati sir. And I'm delighted, because we, due to certain circumstances, we had only been able to reach him late. But I'm glad that he not only accepted, he got completely involved. And the way I think our available partners in Odisha, Anstyang, led by Eliza, the way she took the initiative, engaged with him, and then we've been able to have him over here. And the words and the expressions that he's used to encourage the jury members and the IC team who've been, accumulating these awards for the 6th year now in a row, I mean, completely commendable. Without whose participation, this event would not have been the same. So thanks very much, sir, for your contribution here. And Dr. Mashelkar, despite challenges, but regarding his health, etc., the way he has responded to my initial invitation. When I wrote to him regarding this event, he wrote a very, heartwarming line that Sanjeev, I will be there, and within bracket always. So that was a very touching and very emotional. So thanks very much, sir. This award would cannot be the same without you. So you are indispensable for these awards. Thanks very much, sir. And then the other jury members, I think most of the jury members I tried to reach out to, they reported saying either having been infected by COVID themselves or one of their relatives, But despite that, I think Acharya sir has been able to make it, and also Shashanka and others. So thank you all, jury members. Great. Then Nana ma'am, of course, the source of inspiration for all of us, the way she's led this coalition, this is amazing. And we always look forward to Nana ma'am for support and guidance, and the way she's, because this outreach event is happening for the first time. So it was the brainchild of the IC team led by Natasha ma'am, and the way I think Nana ma'am has also responded to it. I mean, all of us really enjoyed, attending this event and also organizing this event. And finally, to Natasha ma'am, been a source of inspiration for the entire team, and the way this IC team, has been delivering on its outputs, amazing. So thanks, yes, Natasha ma'am, for all the leadership support that we have been constantly getting from you. And my colleagues in the other verticals within coalition, Eden in ABC, Naomi, and of course, Mitali, and Sardaji, the way you have been able to do all these, outreach emails to the entire IC, mailing this, etc. Otherwise, this event would not have been the same. So thanks very much, all of you. Now, I would request anybody who maybe have, having certain queries to be able to reach out to us on mail or phone through our website or even otherwise, because we are already, I think, 7 minutes over the schedule. Thank you very much. And over to you, Mitali. Yeah.
Excuse me, please.
Yes.
May I say something?
Please.
May I say something?
Please.
May I say something?
Yeah, please.
Sir, as myself is Ashok Kumar Dhingra, Delhi Civil Defense Post Warden from Paschim Bihar, Delhi.
Sir.
ओके सर, मैं एक चीज जानना चाहता हूँ कि ये एमसीडी द्वारा जो शौचालय बनाए जाते हैं, उद्घाटन तो बड़ा अच्छी तरीके से किया जाता है, लेकिन कुछ समय बाद हमारी जो पब्लिक है उसकी कमी से जो है उसको जो है बिल्कुल ही खराब कर दिया जाता है, और उसके अंदर जाने से भी हम लोग डरते हैं क्योंकि इतनी मक्खियां भिनभिनाती हैं, टैप्स वगैरह गायब हो जाते हैं, इवन देन पार्ट्स ऑफ दी जो टॉयलेट के अंदर लगे रहते हैं वो भी गायब हो जाते हैं
जी।
तो इसके लिए क्या किया जा सकता है?
बहुत बढ़िया सर, आपने सर बहुत बढ़िया बात की। इनफैक्ट सर इसी के लिए एक ऐसा मॉडल है सर, इनोवेटिव वो पब्लिक टॉयलेट का, जिसमें कि वेंडलिज्म के अगेंस्ट उसमें सेंसर्स इंस्टॉल होते हैं। तो अगर किसी ऐसे आदमी ने जिसके पास की सिविक सेंस थोड़ा कम होता है और अगर हमारे टॉयलेट को नुकसान पहुंचाते हैं, तो अब ऐसे टॉयलेट का निर्माण और इनका इंस्टॉलेशन भी सर हो रहा है कि हम ऐसे लोगों को तुरंत आइडेंटिफाई करके और ऐसे मतलब टॉयलेट्स को जहां पर कि ये वेंडलिज्म हुआ होता है, हम उनको तुरंत अटेंड कर सकते हैं। तो आपने बहुत बढ़िया पॉइंट कहा और इसको हम लोग पहले से भी एड्रेस कर रहे हैं और इसको और हम लोग और ठीक तरीके से हम लोग गवर्नमेंट के साथ मिलके और जो हमारा वो प्राइवेट सेक्टर है मिलके इस प्रॉब्लम को एड्रेस करने की पूरी कोशिश करेंगे।
संजीव, ये हालत के बारे में भी कह रहे हैं, पर आप इनसे बात कर लीजिए प्रोग्राम बंद करने के बाद की और डिटेल भी समझ लें, और जहां तक सहायता हम भी दे सकते हैं कुछ कोशिश करें।
थैंक यू
सर, ऐसा है तो यहाँ पर क्यों नहीं कोई एक बंदा अपॉइंट किया जाता?
नवदीप जी, हम ये प्रोग्राम जरा बंद कर लें और आपसे अभी इस पैसे खत्म होता है, संजीव आपको फोन कर लेंगे।
बिल्कुल, हम और आप इसको आराम से डिस्कस करें। थैंक यू आपके,
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, everyone. Really very grateful for your time and continued support for this very important initiative of ours, the awards, as we take it forward. Every member of the jury, every speaker today, every awardee, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.